there, you're welcome to this week's episode of Mending Bridges. My name is CHICHI Ogbonnaya. Feel free to call me a force to reckon with. This is Mending Bridges, the show that inspires you to live a chaste, focused, and purposeful life. I hope you're out of the frenzy of the love in the air this Valentine's season, but if you're not, it's all good. I mean, people say the entire month of February is the month of love, so if you're still basking in it, please feel free and enjoy. So today I want to talk about, I'll be back. Okay, so today I'll be talking about managing expectations in relationship. Managing expectations in relationship. I mean, a whole lot of drama went down this February 14th. Like, I heard stories, I saw some that happened very close to me, and I was like, okay, I think we should talk about managing expectations in relationship, because so many people out there really expect so much of people they're in a relationship with, and it's really sad that we find ourselves in different relationships. Sometimes it's a platonic one, sometimes a romantic ones, and we expect so much from individuals in relationship. And there's been arguments for and against. Some people are like, should you expect anything at all from a relationship, or should you have expectations in your relationships? Well, I'm on both sides. I believe we all should have certain expectations in relationships, but of course they shouldn't be so much that it will choke the person you are in a relationship with. So I've listed 5 things, that would help you manage your expectations in your relationship. Like I said, some people are for and some people are against. And the first thing I want to say is, don't expect anything. Do not expect anything. So my in-law, Uncle Mayowa, he's always saying something that I find really wise, something that I feel everyone should adhere to. He says he doesn't expect anything from anyone. So when he doesn't get something from them, he's not disappointed. So I'll advise that you shouldn't expect anything, depending on the kind of relationship you're in, whether that of same sex, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or a marriage relationship. Don't expect anything. Because especially with young people, we have this sense of entitlement. We just feel people owe us, so you've done something for me, you expect that I'm supposed to give you something in return. Or maybe we exchanged numbers, and the next thing I should expect that the guy would ask me out, and when that doesn't happen, I get disappointed. Let's reduce our sense of entitlement, or completely discard it, because really it's hurting a lot of people, it's costing a lot of people valuable relationships. So the first thing I want us to know in managing expectations in relationship is, do not expect anything. Don't have a sense of entitlement. Don't think your boyfriend owes you anything. Don't think your girlfriend owes you anything. And in that way, when they don't do certain things, you won't feel disappointed. And when they do the little things, I mean, it feels as though they've given you $1 million. Let me give you an example. So personally, I practice both expecting some things in certain relationships, and in other relationships I don't expect anything. Now, so for me, I don't expect so much from people that are close to me. So that way, when I don't get anything from them, I'm not disappointed. And when they give me as, I don't want to say as little, because nothing is really little. If I say 100 naira is little, to someone who's living on the street under the bridge, who's homeless, who doesn't have any means of feeding themselves, 100 naira could mean a whole lot of, could afford so much for them. It could mean a whole lot to them. So I don't expect so much from people. So when I get as little as 100 naira, I want to put it on my WhatsApp status and say, oh, somebody dashed me this, oh, my sister gifted me this. So first things first, try as much as possible not to expect anything from anyone. And number 2, lower your expectations. Yes, lower your expectations. Now, so let me give you an example. So there was this job I went for a very long time ago, and we're having a conversation, myself and some other people that were involved in the job. Like, so how much are these people going to give us for this project and everything? And some people were like, they are going to give us up to 500k and all of that. I'm like, even if it's 50k that they give us, me, I don't mind, because I mean, anything they give us right now, I'll be glad. And eventually at the end of that project, I think we got close to what one of them had mentioned, and I was blown, like, wow. So try as much as possible to lower your expectations. first I said do not expect anything from people. And for some people, depending on the kind of relationship that you're in, because the fact that I said that the first thing is do not expect anything doesn't mean there are certain relationships that you wouldn't expect something from. So, but secondly, I'm saying lower your expectations. So if you're in that relationship where you feel, oh, ideally I should expect something from this relationship, maybe it's a business relationship, and you feel, oh yes, I'm in business with this person, I have contributed to so amount, or I brought this referral, and you feel that, oh, the person should, give you something, or give you part of the profit or something. Lower your expectations. That way, if they give you something that comes to mind to them, that is, then you won't feel disappointed by what you have received. Number 3, become what you expect. Become what you expect. If you've been following me for a while now, you know that I always encourage people to be everything they expect in people. So you want a partner that is XYZ, become XYZ. So you want people to shower you with gifts, you want people to be good to you, be good to people. Your friends, it doesn't have to be their birthday before you send them gifts. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day before you give your lover a special gift or a special treat. Sometimes just randomly be good to people. Just wake up one morning and say, okay, today I want to make someone smile. And it doesn't necessarily have to cost you money. It might be scribbling a note down and sending to them. For instance, one of the best gifts I got, that really blew me, maybe because I love things like that. One of my mentees sent me a note. In fact, it wasn't like she sent the note to me. She scribbled something down, because there's a barrier there's a distance barrier rather. She's there and I'm here. She scribbled some things in I think it's a poem. Yeah, I'll call it a poem, in a sheet of paper. Took a picture of it and sent it to me on WhatsApp. I was blown, because it was thoughtful. The fact that she took out time to get that piece of paper to scribble down everything she wrote for me, and then went a step further, taking a screenshot of it or snapping it with her phone and sending it to me on WhatsApp. It meant so much to me, because it's equivalent, as far as I'm concerned, it's equivalent to someone who would have probably gone to the market to pick up a piece of gifts for me and all. So I always say this, that it is not in the gift that you have received, it's the thought behind it. It's not how big the gift is, it's the thoughtfulness that has gone into it. So a lot of times we expect so much, and we are not what we expect from people. So if you want people to give you gifts, if you want people to love you or do stuff to you, become that person. Look out for a friend and just be nice to them. Look out for that sibling of yours and do something beautiful to them. And God has a way of giving us back. The Bible says that we should give, and it shall be given back unto us in good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. That is, if you have given 5 naira to somebody, God doesn't give you 5 naira back. He gives you much more than you have given out. So become what you expect of people. Become what you expect of your partner, or whoever it is that you're in a relationship with, your friends. And number 4, communicate your expectations early. I know this point I'm listening and you might think, oh, Chichi said we should not expect anything. Oh, and she said we should lower our expectations. And now she says we should become what we expect. And next she's saying, communicate your expectations early. Yes, like I mentioned earlier, there are certain relationships that it's valid for you. It is legit. It is okay for you to expect something from the people you are in that relationship with. For instance, I expect that my sister should give me gifts on my birthday. Okay, that's just an aside. But every birthday that my sister always give me gifts. It's like a tradition in the house. We give each other things, and there are times that she just blows me away with the gifts that she gives to me. So communicate your expectations early. You're in a relationship with that guy, and you expect that he'll be giving you allowances every month. I did not say so. I'm just giving an example. Okay, let me use marriage as an example. So you're marrying someone, you guys are about to get married and all. I feel what you should do before you take that step of walking down the aisle, is sit down with that guy and tell him, honey, so at some point I'm expecting that every month you're going to be giving me allowances for my hair, allowances for my wardrobe, allowances to take care of the house. So make sure you have that discussion with whoever it is you're in a relationship with, to avoid issues of disagreement and all of that. Finally, commit your expectations to God. much. The Bible says that God is the author and finisher of our faith. I like to change faith there to expectations. So let God be the author and finisher of your expectations. I remember one time in Bible school, one of the ministers who came to talk to us about prayer said there are times that she doesn't necessarily go to her husband to ask for a thing. When she realized that that thing she's asking for, that her husband will probably not say yes to it, that she goes down on her knees and say, Father, I need 50 million naira from my husband. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I trust you because you are the one who can turn the heart of a king wheresoever that you please. So please turn the heart of my husband to give me 50 million naira. And somehow she says she just goes to bed, and the next morning the husband will come and say, what is that thing that you need? And it's sorted. So let God be the center of our relationship. I always say this to my friends. If God is the alpha and the omega of your relationship, both male-female relationship, romantic relationship, platonic, as long as you put God at the center of your relationship, make sure that you're always going back to him every time you have a particular thing that you want him sorted. If there's a need in your relationship and you feel, going to my boyfriend or going to my girlfriend or going to my husband, this might not come through, go to God in prayers. He answers the minutest of prayers. So if you want that thing, like I have several testimonies I probably can't share on this episode of discussion, I would share with you guys later. I have several testimonies of me expecting something from someone, and I go to God in prayer, and miraculously the person just comes to me and says, this, or the person does the exact thing that I have prayed for. Okay, so please let's try as much as possible to manage our expectations in relationships, so we don't end up losing quality, valuable relationship because we were expecting so much of people. Okay, so let's try as much as possible to not expect anything, to lower our expectations, become what we expect, and try as much as possible to communicate our expectations early and trust God ultimately in our expectations, knowing that he will always meet us at the very point of our needs. This conversation is a continuous one. Next week I'm going to be sharing a video with a friend still talking about managing expectations in relationship. Till I come your way next week, keep living a chaste, focused and purposeful life. My name is CHICHI Ogbonnaya. Feel free to call me a first to reckon with. I love you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.